Today I wanted to go over a serratus challenge. So oftentimes when I see people doing serratus presses, they turn into more just thoracic movement. So they press up with their serratus, except it's not serratus. It turns into a thoracic kind of hunching. So we're not getting that great pull through of the serratus. We're actually getting a lot of upper trap activity. So if we want to get more serratus, less upper traps, less neck tightness, then you've got to make sure your exercise is not a seesaw. So what I mean by that is, let's get in this nice position with our head up in line with our body and our back. Think about filling it in. Now, the serratus will lift right here because it's pulling our scapula through, all right, which is sending us into a protracted position. So it's pulling the scapula through. What happens is if the upper traps end up taking over for the serratus, it turns into a seesaw motion. So your head drops instead of bringing through. So what I want you to think about is hands and knees. This is your challenge. Hands and knees drop down between your middle traps. So drop down between your scapula, let your shoulder blades kind of come together. Bring your head up in line with your body. And then I want you to think about filling in between your shoulder blades. So fill in between those shoulder blades, press up, press up, press up, press up, without letting your head seesaw down. And when you do this, I want you to think about the weight in your hands. So I want you to think about where the weight is positioned. So collapsing all the way in, and letting the arches of your hands completely collapse is not good for shoulder positioning. But likewise, rolling all the way to the outside cannot be good for shoulder positioning. Think about this as your feet too supinated or too pronated. So we want to think about having the good arches and balancing the weight through our hands, and think about weighting this first finger just like we would think about weighting our big toe. So I want you to think about driving through your hands and pushing through those hands. So head up, shoulder blades down, and press into the mat. And think about pushing evenly through your hands and making sure that you keep that connection here with the inside as you push through, that you're not collapsing in like we often see people do with push-ups, and you're not rocking all the way to the outside. The other trick that I found that can help people with this exercise and really getting that press through is to widen your hands a bit. So go all the way to the very outside of the mat and press up through there, and you might notice a difference with how it feels, because that's going to help you drive a little bit more evenly through your fingers instead of rocking to the outside. All right, so give those tips a try and let me know how it goes. Were you able to find your serratus and relax your neck, or did you catch yourself in that seesaw momentum for trying to get those shoulder blades to move properly?